All right, so let's see, I'll just close this guy down for now. And we're gonna go in and make the pieces for this guy. So the first thing we need to make are these little circles that make the fake joints. And then we'll make the bamboo, the single bamboo piece. So to make the circles, it's pretty easy. You just go to File, New, Family, and you'll go to the English or the English Imperial. You guys are metric, so I'll use English. And I'll grab the generic model adaptive. Okay, and I am going to quickly update the background to white. And this one's really simple. I'm just going to place a point out here. I'm going to make it adaptive, right? And then I'm going to draw a vertical line and host a circle on each side of it. So I'm going to go to Reference, Line. I'm going to go to Draw on Work Plane because I want it to draw on the work plane of the adaptive point. And I'm going to set the vertical plane current. And I also want 3D snapping off. I do not want it to 3D snap. I want it to be constant on that work plane. So I'm going to pick here and just draw vertically. And you want to make sure you draw vertically. You can spin around it, to make sure that it didn't go flat. And then I want to pick this guy, and I just want to move it from the midpoint of the line to the point. This makes it a little easier for what I'm about to do next. Now I'm going to equalize it out around that point and put a length parameter on it. So to do that, I need dimensions. So I'm going to go to Align Dimension. And I'm going to hover over the end and tap my tab key until the point shows up and left click. And then left click on that guy and then tap my tab key until the point shows up and left click. And then pull out here and click on nothing and select the equals. Now I need a length parameter so I can control the length of this line. So I'm going to come in and pick that line, and there's a listening dimension here. And if I left click on the icon, it will make that dimension permanent. They're a little big, so I'm going to come in here and change the scale and make them a little smaller. And then what I want to do is I want to select this guy and I want to create a parameter here. And I'm going to make this an instance parameter. We can talk about that a little bit later. And we'll name this line length. Okay. And then the next thing I need are 2 circles on the end. So I want to put some points. So I'm going to, on the end of that line, to host my circles to. So I'm going to go to Point and Draw on Face. If you do Point and Draw on Face, you'll notice when I hover over the line, it gets small. If it's Draw on Plane, it won't get small. It won't actually host to the line. So the Draw on Face allows it to actually host to another object. So I'm just going to put points on the end of that guy. And now I'm going to go to Reference, Circle, and Set. And I want to set this point to be current. And I want it to draw on work plane because now I want it to draw on the plane of the point. So I'm going to left click here, draw out, and then I'm going to set the bottom point, left click, and draw out. And then I'm going to set a couple of parameters to control the size of these guys. Okay, so 1, 2, new parameter, and we'll make this one an instance as well, and I'll call this radius circles. Okay. And then I'll just go in and set them to kind of what I think they're going to be. The line length will probably be like 25, and then the radius of the circles 21, right? And so that all gets pretty small. I'll go ahead and make it a 1-to-1, and maybe, depends on how picky you are, you can come in and kind of drag this guy in if you want to. All right, so now we've got that. The only other thing is that these are reference lines, and when you insert them in another family, they'll disappear. So I want them to appear. So I picked both of them, holding down Control to get them. And in the properties, if you have just reference lines, you can actually remove is reference line check, and it will make it into model lines. You could have made it as model lines first off. All right, and then I'm just going to click Save. And I'll save this as 1 point circles. Okay. And then when I come back, we'll place this on the cylinder for the bamboo.